Hey, welcome back to Old Time Garage. So we put our first video out there and had lots of response to it. It was great, and I told you guys that I was going to do a video at the beginning of the week showing you what we were going to start on, and one at the end of the week and what we were finishing up with. You know what, unfortunately for me, this is not reality TV. I can't, I have a business to run, so I can't be doing videos at the beginning and the end of the week. It's just too much. It just cuts into too much time for working on hot rods and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot you guys a video at the beginning of every week. That way there you get to see what we've done the week before and where we're going for this week here. So last time you were here, we had all the doors and fenders and everything were mocked up on this car, and we were roughing in the bodywork. As I explained to you, you should do it with everything bolted on, get it roughed in. So right now you can take a look. I'm just finishing pulling the masking paper off here. We've taken all the doors and the fenders off the car now, and you can get a better look at our powder coated frame that we were talking about, and all our new suspension now that the front end is off. We've just left this on, this front nose piece. It's still got to be done and cleaned up. Pay no attention to it, but we leave it on because we're going to be bolting stuff back. So anyway, we've taken all the fenders and the doors off, and we finished off the bodywork on them. And if we just follow me into here. So what we did was we finished off the roughing into the bodywork on the car to make sure all the lines and gaps fit. Then we took them off and we blocked them out and did the bodywork on them, and we shot them in primer. Now what you're seeing here right now, we've got the fenders here, we've got both doors here. So we did the bodywork and we primered them once. And now what we've done is we came in today and we've re-blocked them and gone over the whole things entirely and got out any little imperfections or any little waves or ripples, and now we've re-primered them again. Now what will happen is these are ready. This is to the point now where all we got to do next is when the car is ready for paint, we just got to give them a final light block and a final sand, and that's it. So because I've got 3 or 4 projects on the go at once, it's very easy to have panels lay around the shop, and I don't have the biggest shop in the world. So what I'm going to do here, because I've done a little bit of work to this car now, I'm going to go on to something else and work on it for the next week or two, and the car is going to be set aside for a while. So what I will do is I will take the panels and just quickly put a couple bolts on them and put them back on the car, and the car will be pushed out back into the bays and recovered back up until we get back to it again. Like I say, I'm just bolting the panels on because I don't want to leave them around the shop. You could get a dent or a ding, anything could happen. And you know what, it doesn't hurt to bolt them back on, because this way here you can just make sure that everything is lining up properly. So that explains why the front panel is still on there. That panel actually has to be taken off and sandblasted and then painted up. But for right now, we're coming to a standstill on this car for the next couple of weeks. So that's where we left off on this. So this has been done in the week that I've seen you. This is what I've managed to get done. I've also managed, if you come back in here, this here was our 36 Ford Fender that I had shown you. And I don't know if you're just watching this video for the first time, if you go on to the very first video I have, you'll see what this Fender looked like. I've cut out and butt welded patches in where the rust was. We've hammered out and dollied out everything we can. We still got a little bit of grinding to do, as you can see. Some of the welds ain't done yet. And then I took it in, had it blasted, and you know, we blasted it up. And there's, of course, once it blasted, that's why these welds here, you can see that are fresh welds. There's a couple pinholes. Blasting always brings out something somewhere, right? So we'll finish that off. We'll finish grinding these down this week. We're going to get that grinded down. We're going to get all the bodywork done on this thing and get it in primer so it matches the other one, and the customer can take these home. So that's where this fender has left off now. So then we'll go over to the other project we were working on. If you remember, I had the 71 Chev pickup customer, and we finished off blasting it. Last time you've seen it, it had been blasted, but there was a few more areas that still had to be blasted. So we finished off blasting what we had to blast. And we replaced on the other side here, if we can see this or not, we got in a new cab corner. We've butt welded the cab corner in, no overlapping. Everything is butt welded in. And we'll just tap this out a little bit now where it needs to be, and that's it. Light skim of body filler, very little. So we put the cab corner on. I've started etch primering. Etch primer is just something I put on bare metal. It just kind of prevents it from rusting. This is not the primer I use when I'm doing body work. This is just like a sealer primer for me. So I kind of I've started etch primering it this way because the cab is flipped up right, so I can get underneath the dash and all those kind of areas while it's up this way. The cab has to come back down now, so and then we'll finish off the etch primering and body work. But underneath, you never did get to see a shot of it underneath. These are all the new cab supports I welded in. You can't even really tell where they're welded in. I put all the factory bolts. They bolt in here, and they get spot welded in from in behind the floor. So that's all done. And then I've replaced all 4, and then I had to replace in the inner rocker, or the inner rockers here was all rotten, so I've cut this all out. I've butt welded all new metal in here. This is actually a piece all butt welded back in. Then I etch primered the whole bottom half of this cab, and then what I've done is I put a texture spray on it. It's a paintable texture spray. Now you might be asking, why would you spray the black texture spray on it now when you've got all the bodywork on the cab to do and you're going to get it all full of primer? You're thinking, what the hell's going on here? But no, we know what we're doing here. It's all okay. This does not matter if it's going to get primer on it, because at the end of the day, when the truck is all done and the bodywork's all done, we're going to shoot a semi-gloss black over top of this. So it doesn't really matter if primer goes over top of this here. You're not going to get a lot of primer over it anyway, because the cab's going to be flipped down, sitting on the cart. You're just going to get, if anything, you might get a little bit of overspray. You'll never notice it. So at the end of the day, it's going to be sprayed satin black once the underneath. Some guys would go to the extreme to not do this texture spray. They would want the thing to be like cleaned right off and just spray it the same color the truck is and have it looking like, you know, really nice, like, you know, show, I guess, mirror finish. But this is just a nice driver for this guy. So that's where we left off with that. So that's what's happened within the week on a few things around here. There's another vehicle, but unfortunately I got it undercover. It was my friend Mikey's truck, the little 54 Chevy. If you do remember on the first video, he had a color that we had sprayed on the firewall, and it's kind of a funny story. We've gone through this 5 times now. This is like the 5th color we've tried on this truck, and finally we've got the color on there that he wanted. So we had to redo the whole firewall, sand it down, repaint the thing. It is finally painted, so I will show you next time. I don't have the truck in here. It's getting a little dark. It's getting late out. I want to go in and eat dinner. So the shop wants to close up. I want to go home. So anyway, I'll show you the truck next time. But we got a lot done. We got a lot done within the 5 days that we were here working. And remember, you know, I'm the only full-time employee and just a part-time guy. So it's not like a huge high-end shop here. I hope you guys really like this video. I'm going to be shooting some more up there. If you get back to me, please send me emails and tell me what you think. The more emails I get, the more videos I get. If I don't get any, well, maybe I won't do no more. I don't know. You tell me. We're going to show you some other stuff, though, and that's it. Let's call it a night. Let's go have dinner or get outside in your garage and build your hot rod. I don't know what to tell you to do, but go do something. See you later.